Condensation is our next header. We've been learning about the water cycle and the different stages. We've been learning about evaporation, and another part of our water cycle is condensation. Say condensation. What happens to all that water in the air? As long as the air stays warm, the water stays in the air as water vapor. Warmth or heat is energy. As long as the water vapor has a lot of energy in the form of heat, it continues to exit as a gas. But if the air cools, things change. As the air cools, the water vapor condenses. It changes from a gas into a liquid. When invisible water vapor in the air condenses, the water becomes visible again. Clouds are made of the tiniest droplets of liquid water that have condensed from the air. Where else have you seen condensation besides up in the sky in the form of clouds? Sometimes water vapor condenses close to the ground. This is called fog. Being in fog is really being in a cloud that is at ground level. If you go out early in the morning following a warm day, you might see condensation called dew. In the pictures below, dew formed on a spider web and along the edges of the leaves on a plant. So here's fog close to the ground, dew on a spider web, and dew on plant leaves. Water vapor condenses indoors too. On a cold morning, you might see condensation on your kitchen window. Or if you go outside into the cold wearing glasses, they could get fogged with condensation when you go back inside. What happens to the bathroom mirror after you take a shower? The air in the bathroom is warm and filled with warm water vapor. When the air makes contact with the cool mirror, the water vapor condenses on the smooth surface. That's why the mirror is foggy and wet. So you may have seen condensation on a window and condensation on a mirror. Now, have you ever had a chance to write on a car window? Next header, the water cycle. Water particles in the water you drink today may have once flowed down the Ohio River in the Midwest. Those same particles may have washed one of Abraham Lincoln's shirts. They might even have been in a puddle lapped up by a thirsty bison. Water is in constant motion on Earth. You can see water in motion in rushing streams and falling raindrops and snowflakes. But water is in motion in other places too. Water is flowing slowly through the soil. Water is drifting across the sky in clouds. Water is rising through the roots and stems of plants. Water is in motion all over the world. Think about the Ohio River for a moment. It flows all year long, year after year. Where does the water come from to keep the river flowing? Well, here's the Ohio River. The water flowing in the river is renewed all the time. Rain and snow fall in the Ohio River Valley and the hills around it. The rain soaks into the soil and runs into the river. The snow melts in the spring and supplies enough water to keep the river flowing all summer. Rain and snow keep the Ohio River flowing. The rain and snow in the Ohio River Valley are just a tiny part of a global system of water recycling. The global water recycling system is called the water cycle. The big idea of the water cycle is this. Water evaporates from Earth's surface and goes into the air as water vapor. The water vapor condenses to form clouds. The clouds move to a new location. The water then falls to Earth's surface in the new location. The new location gets a fresh supply of water. So that's why it's known as a cycle. So here's a simple water cycle diagram.